everyone, it's Mary with Happy Pine Soap. Today I'm going to show you another gorgeous one pot wonder design. This will be a palm-free recipe. So as you can see here, the colors are smooth. Unlike my Sky Fury on the left that I made a couple of months ago, you can see the steric spots from the palm oil that I used. But the one on the right is a palm-free recipe. And as you can see, it's so much smoother. And in addition, we've poured from a different area of the pour container as opposed to the last design, the Sky Fury on the left. And this creates two different styles of soap design here. And I really hope you enjoy this new tutorial. And without further ado, let's get started. The sand color in our beach soap was achieved using Desert Rose Mica from Brambleberry. I have a 5-pound recipe I'm using, and the sand layer is approximately 1 pound of soap, and I used 1/2 teaspoon of mica for this layer. The white splashing effect in this gorgeous soap is achieved using Luna, and this layer had 1 pound of soap, and I used 1 teaspoon of mica. And I also used Aphrodite from Mad Micas at 1 teaspoon. The gorgeous Seafoam color is also 1 teaspoon. And last but not least, the Klein Blue is our gorgeous deep blue color, also at 1 teaspoon. I like to mix my micas with a lightweight carrier oil, such as sweet almond oil. And I have them pre-measured out in the individual measuring cups, and I'm getting ready to mix them now, as you see with my mini mixer. And once they're mixed, they really perform beautifully in the soap batter later on. They're very easy to mix in as well. So this is my preferred method of coloring my soap batter. In addition, for some extra little fun, we're going to use some walnut shells in the Desert Rose Mica layer. That will mimic sand perfectly and will give it some wonderful scrubbiness as well. The two fragrances are Pineapple Kiwi and White Tea and Ginger from Brambleberry. These two mixed together are my absolute favorite blend this far. I absolutely adore this fragrance. Here you see my hard oils. I have them weighed out and I'm ready to start melting them. This is a wonderful recipe that is palm-free to reduce those steric spots that I was talking about that really seem to be harder to get rid of with palm oil. So this recipe has a combination of cocoa butter and shea butter, lard and tallow and coconut oil, as well as high oleic sunflower oil and avocado oil. And it is just absolutely wonderful and lathers beautifully and is so creamy and long-lived in the shower as well. What I like to do is first melt the hard oils, so all of those that are solid at room temperature, and I usually like to get them above 140 degrees. And when they're completely melted, they should look completely clear, as you see here. This time I decided to do my kaolin clay a little bit different. I added 3.5 tablespoons to my warmed oils, and I blended it with my immersion blender. I wanted to do this to make sure that it was completely smooth without any type of lumps. And also I love kaolin clay because it adds a nice slip to the soap as well. After adding my soft oils to the hard oils, this will allow the combined oils to drop to a much lower temperature, closer to my lye, which is 105 degrees here roughly. And the oils, the combined hard and soft oils, are now about 100 degrees. And as you can see, I'm pouring the lye over the spatula to reduce air bubbles and getting ready to start blending the soap. You only need to blend this for about 20 seconds with the immersion blender. It's not very long at all. This one comes together pretty fast, this recipe. And then you can add your fragrances. These ones are supposed to behave very nicely in cold process soap without accelerating or discoloring the batch. And I've never used these scents before, so at first I was a little shocked at the weird purple gray color that I saw them morphing into as soon as they hit the soap batter, but it wasn't a problem, and they became a beautiful creamy white color, and I didn't see any discoloration later on. Here you see me measuring out approximately 1 pound of soap for my first color. I like to do the micas one by one in separate pour containers for the One Pot Wonder, and then you'll see me go ahead and pour these into the main pour container in just a little bit. I also am using walnut shells, measuring out about a half teaspoon for this 1 pound of soap. That's the Desert Rose color. So for this beach design, we're going to pour down the front of the pour container instead of the side. The Sky Fury, I actually poured down the side, but this time we're going to do it down the front. And you want to layer your colors in the order that they will be poured in of the soap. So the dark blue here, the Klein Blue, is actually our top of the soap. And so that goes in first, followed by the Luna, which is our beautiful splashing kind of wave-like look in the soap. And that will be our second color. Next is our Aphrodite. And as you see, I'm gently pouring down the front and right at the side of the pour container so that I'm not disturbing the soap layers below. You want it to kind of push the batter away as opposed to breaking through. And this is that gorgeous Seafoam color. And then the last will be our delightful sand, which looks very pink at first, but after it gels, it forms that gorgeous sand color. All right, I used a rolled up hand towel to prop my mold up so that it has a tilt to it. And as you start pouring, you want to pour in a steady, slow fashion and sweep the pour container from left to right in a steady pattern when you first begin pouring. And you will go ahead and fill the mold up until you start seeing it get pretty close to the top, where you will need to move the towel out so it doesn't overflow. And now I've removed the towel, and so the 5-pound loaf mold is now flat on the counter. And I am finishing off the soap all the way to the top. And I also go ahead and color the entire top. As I get further and further up, I will go ahead and cover the entire top with the Klein Blue color, with the Luna, of course. As you see, it kind of gently pours in and forms its own pattern, which is part of the fun. Don't forget to give your mold a little tap on the counter as well. I went ahead and filled some cavity molds with the leftover batter so that no soap goes to waste. This step is optional, but if you would like to go ahead and make a design at the top of your soap, you can use a pipette and some pre-mixed copper mica to essentially paint horizontal lines right at the top of your soap. And then you'll use a small tool, such as this cleanup tool from Brambleberry, or any other small stick you might have. And gently, just in the very top layer of soap, you will essentially make some designs, only at the very top layer of your soap. Once you are done swirling the tops of your soaps, you will go ahead and put the soap in a warm oven. I like to turn the oven on to the lowest temperature, which is 170 degrees. You will go ahead and turn the oven off, place your soap in, and turn the oven light on. And then just leave the soap in the warmed oven for about 3 hours. And then you can take it out and it will have gone through a full gel phase. I like to oven process my soaps because it makes them harder faster and makes them easier to unmold, as well as makes the colors richer. All right, we're on to everyone's favorite part, the cut. I always love this part because I never know what the soap is going to look like. And I was absolutely in love with this the first moment I saw it. It definitely reminds me of a beach with sand and splashing waves, and all the different blues look fabulous together. It has a perfect beach tropical feel. And the scrubbiness of the walnut shells was not too significant either. I've actually had a chance to sample one of these bars already, and it's a wonderful light exfoliation and only at the bottom. So it's perfect for those who want a little bit of scrubbiness, but not too much either. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate all of you, and I really hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, or appreciate any of your comments or questions as well. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next soapy video. Take care, everyone.